I don't know, bruh. Uzi. What the hell? Brrr. All right. Let's look at what's going on with this Uzi Vert lawsuit, all right? I actually had copped this last night. I just ain't think y'all would care about it. So let's see what actually happens. Hit that like button like you like something, and let's get the conversation started. You got Jane Doe, meaning she's not going to say her name, versus Roc Nation, LLC. That's Samiri Bicil Woods, basically known as Lil Uzi Vert, and then whatever the hell. So she got workplace harassment prohibited under California Fair Housing and Employment Act, failure to pay overtime compensation, failure to properly reimburse business expenses, violation of California Labor Code 970, and constructive discharge, demand for jury trial. All right, so plaintiff Jane Doe asked for her complaint against defendants Roc Nation, LLC, Samiri Bicil Woods, DBA, Lil Uzi Vert LLC, collectively hearing defendants alleges as follows. Introduction. When plaintiff Doe was offered the opportunity to work as defendant Woods' assistant in February of 2022, she knew that sleepless nights and long hours would be part of the job. So be it. What she did not contemplate and could not have contemplated was the quick escalation of the job from intense and demanding to downright hostile and inappropriate. So she said inappropriate. Keep that in mind before we proceed further. Supported by his management team, defendant Woods, for 2 years, hounded plaintiff Doe during her employment as his artist management coordinator with unwelcome X demands and advances. I gotta say X because we're early in the video. But once we get to that 8-minute mark, I'm gonna fire off the handle. I sent you something on Vanish. Come rub me down before you leave. I'm by myself right now. Send me something. Let me see that booty. Ironically, defendant Woods himself summed up precisely how unlawful his perception and treatment of plaintiff Doe were when he wrote, "You are more than my assistant. You're my B." Oh, God. You know she's going to have this on text too, right? I can damn near guarantee it. Who want to bet? Who want to bet some money? Plaintiff Doe could endure no more of defendant Woods' unlawful behavior. His constructive discharge of her coincided with her suffering severe emotional distress and prolonged physical illness. This is something that the lawyers definitely told her to say, which, let's just be fair, if it was you, you'd be doing the same exact thing. I don't want to hear anybody say, no, I wouldn't. Yeah, you would. Plaintiff Doe could endure no more defendant Woods' unlawful behavior. His constructive discharge of her coincided with her suffering severe emotional distress and prolonged physical illness. After years of loyally serving defendants, plaintiff Doe now brings this action to seek a measure of justice and closure for defendant Woods' year-long pattern of employment law violations, abuse, and harassment. The parties, plaintiff Doe, and all material times mentioned herein, was and is a resident of the County of Los Angeles in the state of California. Plaintiff Doe is informed and believes that defendant Samiri Bicil Woods, defendant Woods, is an individual doing business as Lil Uzi Vert was and is a resident of Atlanta, Georgia. So they stay in there. Hey, Philly always coming down to Atlanta. Shout out Freak Millie. Plaintiff Doe is informed and believes that defendant Roc Nation LLC, defendant Roc Nation or Roc Nation is and at all relevant times was incorporated in the state of Delaware with a principal place of business located at 953 North Sycamore Avenue, Sycamore Avenue, Los Angeles, California, 90038. Plaintiff Doe is informed and believes that defendant Uzi Vert LLC is and at all relevant times was formed in the state of Georgia. Defendant Samiri Bicil Woods is a member of Uzi Vert LLC. Therefore, Uzi Vert LLC is a proper resident of California. The true names and capacities, whether individual, corporate, associate, or otherwise, of defendants identified herein as does 1 through 50 inclusive are unknown to plaintiff, who therefore sues said defendants by such fictitious names. Plaintiff alleges that each of the defendants designated herein, is legally responsible in some matter. I gotta make this bigger, y'all. I'm sorry. I can't see this shit. I know it's gonna look bad on the screen for y'all, but I really can't see this. It is small as hell. If you knew how I did this, I swear to you guys would think I'm a miracle maker. But, where we at? Fictitious names. Plaintiff alleges that each of the defendants designated herein is legally responsible in some matter for the events and happenings referred to and approximately cause injury and damages to plaintiff as alleged herein or in the complaint. Each such Doe defendant was the agent, employee of, or acting under the direction of all other defendants, and in doing the things alleged was acting with the scope and purpose of said agency and/or employment. Jurisdiction and venue. The court has jurisdiction over plaintiff Doe because she was and is a resident of the county of Los Angeles at all relevant times herein. Plaintiff is entitled to and hereby does sue under a fictitious name on grounds including but not limited to the public disclosure of plaintiff's name would unfairly disclose matters of a highly sensitive and personal nature, would expose plaintiff to a real danger of mental or other harm, and would otherwise expose plaintiff to retaliation. And I believe that because fans are insane. This court has jurisdiction over defendant Roc Nation LLC because it has a principal place of business in the county of Los Angeles. It is authorized to conduct business in California and has intentionally availed itself of the laws and markets of California through the operations of its limited liability company in California. Let me make something small. Y'all can't see it, but it's going to be in the way for me, so it's going to bother me. So the court has jurisdiction over defendant Woods because he conducts substantial business in California. The court has jurisdiction over Uzi Vert LLC because it is authorized to conduct business in California and has intentionally availed itself of the laws and markets of California through the operation of its limited liability company in California. Venue is proper. All right, let's just get on with it. General allegations. Plaintiff Doe first met defendant Woods during her last week as assistant to the VIP sales manager at the Balenciaga store in Los Angeles, California. Impressed by her service and professionalism, defendant Woods offered plaintiff Doe a job as his assistant. On June 2nd, 2022, defendant Woods' manager, Amina Diop, contacted plaintiff Doe to get her information and set a salary of $50,000. Yeah, that's kind of light, but okay. Plaintiff Doe would be paid through Uzi Vert LLC, a limited liability corporation, run by Ms. Diop. Plaintiff Doe is hired as defendant Woods' assistant. On June 20th, 2022, plaintiff Doe was sent defendant Woods' tour schedule for 2022 music festival season. For the first 10 days of her employment, plaintiff Doe worked at defendant Woods' home in Los Angeles, tending to his 2 dogs and running basic errands around the house. Oh, that's not bad. All right, that's all you're doing. From her first week of employment onward, plaintiff Doe was expected to be available by phone 24 hours, 7 days a week. She was expected to respond to text messages or phone calls immediately, and when she failed to do so, she was bullied in group chats by members of defendant Woods' management team. So you were told that you were literally supposed to be available 24 hours. You agreed. Yet California probably going to agree with him on that one. So it is what it is. What you consider bullying is literally going to be left up to the jury. So that's whatever. On June 30th, 2022, plaintiff Doe flew to London for the first stop on defendant Woods' European Festival tour circuit. Throughout the summer of 2022, plaintiff Doe began to pay out of pocket for the necessities needed to perform her job, such as Wi-Fi, on her various flights throughout Europe and the United States, and for other basic incidental costs incurring during trial, including costs for her meals and transportation. Plaintiff Doe also began to work the demanding hours of a tour schedule, working anywhere from 12 to 33 hours straight while on the road. While working the festival tour circuit, plaintiff Doe was expected to complete a variety of tasks, including but not limited to receiving phone calls and text messages and fielding requests from defendant Woods and various members of his management team and entourage, such as his managers, driver, security, his girlfriend, and his friends. Buying and delivering food for defendant Woods and his entourage, packing defendant Woods' bags with his clothes and toiletries for travel, keeping an inventory of the contents of defendant Woods' luggage, and ensuring said luggage was transported to and from each tour location. Packing and carrying at all times a bag with defendant Woods' essential business and personal effects, keeping track of defendant Woods' schedule, and ensuring that he was dressed and ready to make his various appointments. Ensuring that defendant Woods had at least 1 bottle of Casamigos tequila and nicotine vape pens available at all times during his parole, and ensuring that defendant Woods had marijuana, rolling papers, and tobacco available at all times when he was legally allowed to smoke marijuana again. During July 2022, plaintiff Doe began to compare her working hours with her promised $50,000 in salary. So let me stop right here real quick. When she said about the stuff, the food, the toiletries, and all this crap, if that's not in contract, that's on her. So if there's nothing written that says I'm going to reimburse you, nah, that's not how that goes. Like, it has to be a contract. It has to be in contract, and that's, I can damn near guarantee the lawyer gonna wipe the floor on that one. So she probably gonna be just trying to seek money, and this probably gonna end up being a settlement. I damn near guarantee. So we're gonna keep on reading, but I had to stop right there. When plaintiff Doe realized that her salary did not match the hours she actually spent working, she contacted Ms. Diop with a request for additional compensation and questions regarding reimbursement for her growing business expenses. Plaintiff Doe was shut down by Ms. Diop, who stated she was only entitled to her $50,000 in salary. Do you not understand what a salary versus an hourly job is? You probably should have fought for that. I know exactly what the hell this is. Similarly, When Plaintiff Doe asked to see a breakdown of her direct deposit history, Ms. Diop denied that request. To this day, Plaintiff Doe was not fully reimbursed for business expenses or fully compensated in line with her salary of $50,000 while employed by defendant Uzi Vert LLC. After the 2022 music festival season ended in September, Plaintiff Doe was sent home abruptly and was not called back to work until January 2023. Defendant Woods begins to how far are we in this? Yeah, we're 12 minutes in here. All right, cool. Began to sexually harass Plaintiff Doe. On February 6, 2023, Plaintiff Doe received a phone call from Mike Brinkley. Yeah. Senior Vice President of Artist Management at Defendant Roc Nation, LLC. Mr. Brinkley invited Plaintiff Doe to meet that afternoon at the Roc Nation LLC office, where he offered Plaintiff Doe a salary of $75,000 for Plaintiff Doe to work as Defendant Woods' assistant through Roc Nation LLC on his management team with the title of Artist Management Coordination / Personal Assistant. Now, understand, this is why Roc Nation is being sued, because once other people start to come in, boy, they start to get held liable. Y'all gonna blame Jay-Z for this crap. Y'all know y'all is. But so far, ain't no Jay-Z gonna be involved in this shit at all. If I hire a management team and I'll call it Nation Rock, and I just so happen to be the founder of it, and I hire, let's say, 8 people to go ahead and artist development and all this other stuff, whatever they do, whether I'm there or not, people are going to hold me and my company liable. But because it's me, I'm going to be told, oh, it's your fault because you hired these horrible people. That's how this shit looks all the time. So, let's see. Well, okay, all right. On February 17, 2023, Mr. Brinkley called Plaintiff Doe and asked if she would be willing to relocate to New York. Mr. Brinkley indicated that Roc Nation LLC will fly Plaintiff Doe out to New York City to meet with Desiree Perez. God damn, man. CEO at Roc Nation LLC, as she would be the final deciding voice on Plaintiff Doe's employment with the company. On February 23, 2023, Plaintiff Doe met with Desiree Perez in New York. Ms. Perez met with Plaintiff Doe's request for a salary of $100,000. Good job. All right. And offered Plaintiff Doe a relocation fee of $5,000 while explicitly stating that this compensation was to start. So is it written? Because just saying it ain't enough. On the same day, Defendant Woods texts Plaintiff Doe and asked her to stay the night with him at his hotel room. Despite Plaintiff Doe stating that she did not feel comfortable with Defendant Woods' request, he continued to pester her, sending her dozens of messages in an effort to convince her to sleep in his hotel room. Defendant Woods' text messages included the following text: "Can you stay with me today? I'm going to go to hotel just to sleep later, though. I will be nice. I just want to sleep. I don't like sleeping by myself. I won't touch you." I know what he's talking about, bro. There's a ton of women who would tell you that, yeah, I slept with Ceddy Nash, but we didn't screw each other. Yeah, I don't like sleeping alone either. So I feel on that, but she got to be willing to do that, bro. You can't pester that. Once you hear, nah, I ain't with it, don't even do it. But somebody working for you, you never want to put yourself in that situation, ever. And you Lil Uzi Vert, bro. Like, come on, man. We are literally not going to do shit, girl. I can control myself. Despite Defendant Woods' efforts to convince her to stay the night with him, Plaintiff Doe stood firm and told him that she would not do so. Okay. This began a 2-year cycle in which Plaintiff Doe attempted to artfully and professionally decline Defendant Woods' countless sexual advances. Each time Plaintiff Doe rejected Defendant Woods, she became fearful that she would lose out on opportunities for career advancement or that she would lose what little access she had to Defendant Woods. This is already sounding like some bullshit. During these 2 years, Plaintiff Doe was also happily involved in committed romantic relationships. Plaintiff Doe feared that she had to keep Defendant Woods' flirtation and solicitation secret in order to keep her job and avoid personal and professional turmoil. During this time, Plaintiff Doe experienced increased stress that Defendant Woods' unwelcome actions would be taken out of context and cause harm to her personal relationships. Some of the sexually inappropriate and unwelcome text messages Defendant Woods sent Plaintiff Doe, including the following: August 6, 2023. "I sent you something on Vanish. Send me something while I'm by myself on Vanish. Dude, I don't tell a soul. And I don't like having anything. That's why I Vanish mode." On August 22nd, 2023, FaceTime me before I got to do my call. August 6th, 2023. "Come run me down before you leave." November 15th, 2023. "I'm by myself right now. Send me something." During the spring of 2023, Plaintiff Doe worked between Los Angeles and New York, continuing to perform the around-the-clock duties associated with working as Defendant Woods' Artist Management Coordination / Personal Assistant. During the summer of 2023, Plaintiff Doe gained the additional responsibility of overseeing Defendant Woods' move from an apartment to a penthouse in New York City. Once the move was completed, she began managing his penthouse, ensuring that it was clean, fully stocked with groceries and other necessities, and ready for Defendant Woods or his entourage at a moment's notice. During this time, Plaintiff Doe also continued to work 12 to 20-hour days when Defendant Woods had a concert or other tour-related performance. Despite her continued request, defendants failed to provide plaintiff Doe a per diem. Damn, that's terrible. Leaving her to pay out of pocket for business travel-related expenses while working the tour schedule, similar to her treatment in 2022. Plaintiff Doe did not receive overtime compensation or proper reimbursement for business expenses such as food and transportation in 2023. These costs were compounded by the fact that Plaintiff Doe accompanied Defendant Woods during his nationwide tour, the Pink Tape Tour, from October to December of 2023. In December of 2023, Defendant Woods' girlfriend, Jatavia Johnson, fired her assistant and obtained permission from him to use Plaintiff Doe as her assistant. During the remainder of the month, Plaintiff Doe worked for both Defendant Woods and Ms. Johnson. Plaintiff Doe was never compensated for her additional responsibilities as Ms. Johnson's assistant. Oh, yeah. See, if that's true, then you're supposed to be up too, honey. I could poke holes in certain shit, but yeah, as long as that money was deposited, cool. But yeah, she would have had to have gotten permission to do all this shit. And I would have told her flat out, you want me to do this, you need to pay me more than what he pays. Because, never mind, I'm about to say something sexist, so hell no. In February of 2024, the company debit cards provided to make purchases for Defendant Woods ran dry. Plaintiff Doe was directed to pay out of pocket for food, clothes, and alcohol for Defendant Woods and his entourage. So what you mean company debit cards were provided to make purchases for Defendant Woods? Huh. Pay out of pocket for food, clothes, and alcohol for Defendant Woods and his entourage. Oh, I wouldn't have done none of that shit. When Plaintiff Doe contacted Defendant Woods' manager, Amina Diop, and Mike Brinkley of Roc Nation LLC with requests for reimbursement for her business expenses or a standard per diem, she was told she was only entitled to her salary. To this date, Roc Nation LLC, Defendant Woods, and Uzi Vert LLC have failed to fully reimburse Defendant Doe for her business expenses. During the majority of the month of February, Plaintiff Doe worked in Los Angeles, working long hours at the studio while Defendant Woods began to work on his next album. Plaintiff Doe would accompany Defendant Woods to the studio each day, often working 10 hours a day, ensuring that Defendant Woods and his entourage received food 3 times a day, transportation, and other necessities to ensure that they were comfortable while making music. During this time period, defendants continued to fail to provide Plaintiff Doe with overtime compensation or proper reimbursement for business expenses. In March of 2024, Plaintiff Doe returned to New York City and began to experience intense burnout while continuing to work 10 hours a day on average. That's really not that much, but whatever. In April of 2024, after 2 years and 2 months of harassment, employment law violations, and abuse, Plaintiff Doe returned home to Los Angeles, unable to handle the hostile work environment created by defendants. Defendant Woods' drug-fueled retaliation begins. Dun, dun, dun. Plaintiff Doe returned to work as Defendant Woods' artist management coordinator in May of 2024. When Plaintiff Doe returned, she faced retaliation from Defendant Woods himself, along with his management team. Upon her return to New York City on May 16, 2024, Plaintiff Doe was denied use of the company debit card and other resources needed to perform her job. Defendant Woods' drivers in particular began to exhibit resentment toward Plaintiff Doe because they felt they all had to absorb Plaintiff Doe's job duties when they, similar to Plaintiff Doe, were continuously not paid the full amounts they were owed. She needed to try to figure out how to turn this into a class action suit. That'd be way more pressure. So she needed to go find out who them drivers are. During this time, Defendant Woods continued his pattern of sexual harassment, calling Plaintiff Doe by the name of Big Butt and mentioning that she had a fat ass. Boy, God. In one text message from Defendant Woods on January 20th, 2023, Defendant Woods stated, "Let me see that booty." As the year progressed, Defendant Woods continued to retaliate against Plaintiff Doe by harassing her verbally. When Defendant Woods was high on drugs such as Xanax and Oxycontin, he would often subject Plaintiff Doe to endless barrage of hostile and abusive text messages. Defendant Woods' endless messages would leave Plaintiff Doe wondering whether she was being terminated or whether Defendant Woods was just upset. During... oh my God. During one such text in July of 2024, Defendant Woods became angry that a member of his entourage was not provided a hotel room while under their influence. Why didn't he sleep with you? Defendant Woods texts Plaintiff Doe the following: "Stop being so fucking soft. This is me to you. No black rapper will be able to tell a white girl stop being soft. Well, today I am. Stop being soft. I don't care if you mad, sad, cry, whatever." That sounds like a damn song. "I don't really care if you cry. You a girl. You supposed to." When Plaintiff Doe apologized for the oversight, Defendant Woods responded, "You are more than my assistant. You are my bitch." During another text message exchange in October of 2024, Defendant Woods became angry when Plaintiff Doe failed to organize all his white clothes in one closet. Under the influence, Defendant Woods sent Plaintiff Doe over a dozen messages before he finally stated, You are not even on drugs like I am. I don't understand you mental over being successful. You are basically saying, fuck what he say. Like, I'm just a pushover, but I'm not upset. Life only gets better. I'm not trying to be in a bad move. Everybody counts me out. Like, I'm really not a star. I feel that shit. But I had somebody doing it today, just a little upset, honestly. When Plaintiff Doe responded to Defendant Wood's messages and asked where they go from here, he responded, I'm just mad. It's cool. Defendant Wood's sexual and verbal harassment of Plaintiff Doe continued throughout the year 2025. Plaintiff Doe suffers constructive discharge. It was only in February of 2025 that Plaintiff Doe was once again provided a company debit card with funds in order to adequately perform her job duties. Throughout the winter and spring of 2025, Plaintiff Doe continued to work 7 days a week from 8 in the morning to midnight. In March of 2025, Plaintiff Doe spoke with Mike Brinkley and explained that she would like a performance review and a change in compensation in line with what Ms. Perez promised 2 years prior. From March 25, 2025 and April 15, 2025, Mr. Brinkley failed to provide Plaintiff Doe with an opportunity to discuss her requested performance review or change in compensation. When Plaintiff Doe would inquire as to when they could schedule a time to meet, he continued to postpone the conversation. In late of April 2025, after 3 years and 2 months of abuse, harassment, and mistreatment, Plaintiff Doe could no longer tolerate her working conditions and felt compelled to resign. Days later, Ms. Johnson called Plaintiff Doe and proceeded to insult her and badmouth her over the telephone. Administrative remedies. On August 8, 2025, plaintiff filed a claim with the CA Civil Rights Department, CRD matter number 202508-307131612 for sexual harassment and retaliation, see Exhibit 1. On August 12, 2025, a CA CRD provided plaintiff with a notice of case closure and right to sue. First claim for relief. Workplace sexual harassment prohibited under California's Fair Employment and Housing Act. As to all defendants, Plaintiff Doe realleges and incorporates herein by reference that each and every allegation set forth above. At all times herein, Plaintiff Doe, while first employed by Uzi Vert, we ain't really got to read all that stuff. Basically, she was subjected to harassment. Plaintiff Doe was subject to unwanted sexual demands and advances and verbal harassment. The harassment conduct was continuous throughout the last 2 years of Plaintiff Doe's employment with Woods. Woods' harassment conduct was so severe and pervasive that a reasonable person in Plaintiff Doe's circumstances would have considered the work environment to be hostile, intimidating, offensive, oppressive, or abusive. Defendant Woods' harassing conduct made it increasingly difficult for Plaintiff Doe to perform her job duties and responsibilities. Plaintiff Doe never knew when Defendant Woods would engage in inappropriate sexual behavior. This caused Plaintiff Doe to fear her everyday interactions with Defendant Woods. Each time Plaintiff Doe rejected Defendant Woods, she became fearful that she would lose out on opportunities for career advancement or that she would be subject to retaliation from Defendant Woods, leaving her unable to perform her job duties. Plaintiff Doe feared that she had to keep Defendant Woods' flirtation and solicitation in secret in order to keep her job and avoid personal and professional turmoil. During this time, Plaintiff Doe experienced increased stress that Defendant Woods' unwelcome actions would be taken out of context and cause harm to her personal romantic relationships. As a result, Plaintiff Woods' harassment, Plaintiff Doe is entitled to compensatory damages. Plaintiff Doe has suffered suffers emotional distress and mental anguish for which she has sought out treatment of licensed medical health professionals. In doing the acts alleged, Defendant Woods acted despicably and with oppression, fraud, malice, and in conscious disregard of Plaintiff Doe's rights, and is therefore liable for exemplary and punitive damages in an amount according to proof at trial. So I'm curious how much she actually wants. So I don't really care about all this shit. Third claim for relief, whatever the hell. Fourth claim for relief, we don't really care. Fifth claim, we don't really care. Let's get to the bottom part. General compensatory damages according to proof, special damages, and all this shit. Ooh, she's saying, y'all gonna decide. She don't even say nothing. Huh. Wherefore plaintiff prays for relief against defendants as follows in general. I gotta see. Hold on, man. She didn't say nothing? So she gonna bring it all into court. She wants these. Okay. All right. Yeah. Interesting. Let me say this, bro. If this is true, right? Give her damn money. He didn't put his hands on her. He didn't touch her. He didn't do anything like that. Was it gross? Hell yeah. If you see, and I hate to say it this way, but if you see something stupid like this and you decide to stay, the best thing you can do is always detail-orient this shit. Uzi must have thought to himself, she stayed, she's cool and all this shit. She 100% was using this opportunity to gain a whole nother opportunity for sure. And I mean, that's what you want to do in this quote unquote industry. Foster relationships, make sure you're cool with people, meet other people. You can do the same exact thing. So I don't think that she's going to lose the lawsuit, but the fact that she's like at jury trial, I'll let you guys decide on this. Pretty good. She can probably walk away with like $2 million. Probably walk away with like $2 million. Does she deserve it? Who's to say? I don't know what it's like to be a big booty white girl. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't know what it's like to be a woman. I know what it's like to be sexually harassed for sure. But I'm a man, so my mental is all scrambled because of what I've been told society-wise is supposed to be good for me. I don't know what the hell they go through. I know that the sue me state that is California, bruh, that girl planned that shit. She did. One thing that always kind of throws me off is what's said on the other line. I want to know exactly what she said to him for him to feel that comfortable, or if he's just a sleazeball just like that. If he is, get your money and shot it. No female, no male, no anybody should be subjugated to sexual harassment and told all of this shit. But what did you think a personal assistant was? Well, you got told you was going to work 24 hours a damn day, and you thought, in my opinion, based on how she wrote this, you just finna be chilling. You'd probably bring some weed, hold on some cigarettes, make some store runs, and all this shit, get to sightsee and kick it like you wanted the crew, with the exception that you're getting paid. It don't say anything about her ass basically making schedules, coordinating a bunch of stuff or anything. It seemed like you had life on easy street. Now, I'm not dismissing the sexual harassment shit, because hell nah. But there's not years of text messages saying all the damn time, and that doesn't mean that it's all right. I'm not saying this shit, but the part that kind of blows my mind out is this. You had that text. He said, come kick it, come sleep with me and all this shit, everything, and you declined. That's your right to do so. But at what point did it seem like you were going to be fired? What text message did you see? Did you read it? Or did I miss it? Y'all let me know if I missed it, or it seemed like she said she's getting fired. And where does it say you capitulated? Now, to send me some on Vanish mode, yeah, he out of line for that. And I see why JT punched him in the shit. You know, just come on. Just come on home. You can come to me. You can come to me. You know, you can come. You know, my shirt say, my shirt say the orgasm donor. You know, I put that on for you, baby. But somebody said I had what the hell is that called? A swimming pool instructor, a lifeguard shit on. I don't know how to swim, bitch. I know how to sink. I don't know how to swim, bitch. The fuck you talking about? I know how to swim. I don't know how to swim. I'm black. The fuck you talking? Well, black man, we don't know how to swim. That's racism right there. Yes, y'all be like, that's racism. You don't know how to swim? Yeah, in the white community pools, they used to have teaching lessons and all this shit. In the black community pools, we didn't have any of that. And plus, I'm probably buoy deficient anyways, due to all this muscle and fat mix up. You feel me? 300-pound 6th Street cuz. But nah, on a serious note, whew, shouty. Get your money. That's all I can say. Get your money. Get your fatty, get your pipe, get your chili, get your cheese with dip. But I want to know, how long did you work there and not get paid for buying this shit? First off, why didn't you press issue? Like, forget, I'm not being like when I say forget the sexual harassment stuff. I'm not saying that at all. But in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, bro, if I fucked around, if I messed around and came out of pocket once, I'm not doing it again. I'm going to clear that mess up right then and there. Right then and there. Hey, bro, hold on, player. We going to need some type of actions done because, bro, this went blank. I would have gave him the card. Hey, bro, this blank. You need to holler at your people. I'm not coming out of pocket for this. Hell nah. I don't know, bro. Something ain't right about this story. It's certain things that's missing. So I'm curious as to what his side is going to say, what evidence they're going to produce, because some ain't making sense to me. I'm sorry. And even if she is right and she was just one of those fanned out girls who just wanted to be around and all that shit and everything, I can't get mad at that. You know what I'm saying? But y'all let me know your thoughts on this one. Share to keep your people aware, subscribe, turn that bell to notified. And I'll catch you on the next one. Click right here to see how the wave god got free today, man. He did not tell, bruh. He did not tell. I explained to y'all how he gets the charges all the way reduced, but I believe Jake ran something too, like the paperwork that basically said like his girl works at a club or some shit like that. I never believe mass be told anyways. So it is what it is. Share to keep your people aware. Subscribe to the bell to notify. Click right here for that video or click right here for the playlist. Y'all know 300K. We're going to be giving these away. Subscribe today, bro. We keep going up thousands of subscribers every damn week, it feels like. So make sure you get in that action. These are for free. Shipped out by me. I'll catch you on the next one.